And welcome back. Our guest tonight is Liz Reitzig. She's joined the fight for food freedom after she was denied the right to serve her children raw milk. That's right. She joins us now via video Skype. Thanks for joining us, Liz.
Well, thanks so much for having me on.
Okay, now I want to talk to you about the website you gave us. It is occupymonsanto.com. What is that about, Liz?
Well, it's about basically action and protests and events that bring attention and awareness to the issues around Monsanto, genetically modified foods, and just what Monsanto is doing worldwide.
Okay. Now, any particular things you have coming up? I believe I saw an event for an eat-in.
Yes, we have an eat-in at the FDA on April 8th, and this is going to be a huge event. People are coming in from all over the country, and it's really a great opportunity to bring the discussion around GMOs to national attention. So there's going to be people from all kind of political backgrounds, all kind of socioeconomic backgrounds, just everybody who's concerned about the GMO issue. They're going to be gathering. We're going to be serving stone soup at the FDA headquarters in College Park. And we're actually inviting the FDA policymakers, including the commissioner, to come and join us in a meal, a peaceful meal.
Exactly. Well, I'm glad you have that going. And people may be asking, what's the big deal about, these foods, and why do you need to have these sit-ins and things like this? I have an article that came out last week by Mike Adams. Obama betrays America yet again by signing the Monsanto Protection Act into law. I'm sure you've heard of this by now. The Monsanto Protection Act, otherwise known by HR 933, allows Monsanto to override U.S. federal courts on the issues of planting experimental, genetically engineered crops all across the country. So I'm pretty sure you have some strong thoughts about that.
Yeah, absolutely. And, just the fact that they're given so much free reign, basically Monsanto has a blank check to destroy as much as they want to in our natural environment, through genetically modified crops, through all their biotechnology, through the chemicals they're spraying on our environment. I mean, it's just one assault after another. And the fact that they're now basically immune to being sued. Now, thankfully, with that provision, my understanding is that it expires in 6 months. So hopefully that will expire. It won't get renewed. But, I think that it's going to take a lot of action and awareness on the part of Americans to kind of step up and say, look, here's what's actually happening with Monsanto. Here's the blank check they're being given. And we really need to do something about it. We need to join forces. We need to gather together. And we've got to make a lot of noise on this issue.
All right, Liz, with the next 6 months in mind, is there any particular action that people should take to get these issues in front of the right people?
Well, I think that one of the main focuses needs to be on outreach to our friends, to our family, our neighbors, and just educating people about the destructive nature of GMOs, not only personally, but globally. Like, what is it doing to our natural environment to have bioengineered crops planted? And then as we bring attention and awareness to this issue, there's some specific actions people can take, including growing your own food. And one of the things we're doing on April 8th, as we gather together for Stone Soup to share the meal, there's going to be a free exchange of organic seeds. There's a big seed exchange as part of this event.
Now, I'm sure you heard of the Monsanto lawyer who's now the head of the FDA.
Yes, Michael Taylor.
So is that a conflict of interest? What is that?
Well, absolutely conflict of interest. Now, I know that there's multiple opinions about that, but personally, I get kind of suspect anytime there's somebody who is that high up in the biotech industry, and then they're responsible for regulating that same industry. It's a little bit suspicious to me, and frankly, I don't trust them with my food.
Exactly. We saw Obama sign the Monsanto Protection Act and all these other things that are going on. We have GM salmon. They're not just that, they have Agent Orange Monsanto. They have Roundup. Maybe you can talk to us about that. People don't know that they're supporting organizations like Monsanto when they go out and buy insecticides to spray in their gardens.
That's right. And it's also, it's not just the insecticides and the herbicides, but it's also about like the seeds, and like Monsanto owns so many of the smaller seed companies. And I mean, really, I think that's even more of a focus than the chemicals, even because, the seeds represent life, and Monsanto they own patents on life. And so it's kind of a really slippery slope, and they're getting more and more as we go along. And with the recent bill that was just signed, they have this kind of protection against them or this protection for them in court, where, you know, farmers aren't going to be able to sue Monsanto, even if the farmers are the ones who are wronged.
Exactly. We saw, I believe it was in India, we had the farmers commit suicide after their Monsanto crops didn't perform the way they wanted them to.
That's right. I mean, yes, the assault that Monsanto creates worldwide is just, I mean, we could go on for hours discussing it. It's very scary, and it's something that, you know, we want people to be more conscientious of, and then people can begin to make choices based on being aware of the actual facts.
Okay, Liz, we've seen the GMO seeds and GMO crops. Have you heard about things such as GMO salmon, like we have this article right here? Oregon set to ban GM salmon and mandate GMO labeling.
Yes, and that's a real issue in a lot of the states right now, is the GM salmon. And what we've seen is a concerted effort among the states to introduce legislation mandating labeling for certain genetically modified foods, and in some cases, like the salmon, possibly even banning them.
So is there any particular way of action to go about this? Well, let me ask you this. Let me put the question this way. What do you think is the most pressing issue? Is it the crops? Is it the salmon? What do you think is the most pressing issue as far as Monsanto?
Oh, gosh, that's really kind of a big question.
You got Agent Orange and all that.
Yeah, I mean, it's all pressing. It's hard to narrow it down to just one or two things, and they're also interwoven. You know, we have the GM crops, which means heavier spraying, higher toxicity, and then we have, you know, the farmers in India and worldwide who are just committing suicide en masse because they cannot sustainably farm. So it's all interwoven. It's all a huge issue, and one of the biggest things each of us can do is grow more of our own food.
Exactly. Now, Liz, with the time we have left, how can people get in contact with your movement and you if necessary? Well, to participate on the April 8th eat-in at the FDA, we have buses coming in from all over the country. So you just go to the website, occupy-monsanto.com, and you can sign up to be on one of those buses. Also, there's events happening later, May 25th, I believe, not organized by anybody that I'm aware of, but just a nationwide march against Monsanto. And to get in touch with me, I'm part of the Farm Food Freedom Coalition, so farmfoodfreedom.org. All right. Liz Reitzig, thank you for your time.
Thank you, and thanks for covering this issue.
All right, and there she goes. Now, if you'd like to support this broadcast, stop by prisonplanet.tv and get yourself a 15-day free trial. You can see it all right there, the Alex Jones radio show, the nightly news show, so much more waiting for you right there at prisonplanet.tv. And also, if you'd like to find out more in-depth analysis of the issues I was talking about with Liz, you can stop by the InfoWars store and pick up Farmageddon as well as The World According to Monsanto. You can see it right there. The Food Tyranny Special, that is for $34.95, and that is on the InfoWarsStore.com. Well, that's it for this edition of the InfoWars Nightly News. I'm Jakari Jackson, and I'll see you next time.
I'm Darren McBreen, and these are some of the new items that are available now at InfoWarsShop.com. Alert the public to Obama's blatant abuse of power with the new Obama t-shirt. Obama's Joker face on the front and come and take it on the back. It's time to publicly call him out for what he is, a tyrant. Defend the Second Amendment with our top seller Come and Take It t-shirts. And look at that, women's cut tank tops and t-shirts now available. Nice hat. Plus the Don't Tread on Me flag. And now you can become a micro distributor of the InfoWars magazine. Plus get your own copy delivered right to your door each and every month. And if you're tired like I am of you and your family being exposed to polluted drinking water, get the Pro One high performance water filter. It gets rid of all pathogenic bacteria, cyst, fluoride, heavy metals, and numerous other contaminants. So join the revolution at InfoWarsShop.com.